Hello and welcome back to Star Wars: A Living Set. Will, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Back again with 4 new cards. Yes, I am wearing the Vikings jersey again, just like last time. Another win. Unfortunately, Kirk Cousins looks like he might be out for the season.
Oh no.
Apparently he hurt his Achilles. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Sucks.
So again, awesome. Really excited to get back to spend some more time with you guys to talk about 4 new cards. Again, these cards are always available on Topps.com. 2 new cards come out every single Tuesday. And again, we are still blessed with the artwork of Chris Penix. So thank you, Chris, for doing another amazing job on these 4 cards. We got some pretty big hitters this time. We could spend hours on a couple of these characters.
Very easily.
Pretty
one
great.
In particular, but
yeah, one in particular for sure.
Yeah.
All right, but you're going to kick us off with card number 75, Kylo Ren. So we'll take it away.
Kylo Ren or Ben Solo, as we then find out is his actual name. But so when we first saw him, we just knew him as Kylo Ren. And we first saw him in Force Awakens, which is that this card is from Force Awakens.
And when did we really first see his character, though?
We actually first saw his character, who was originally called Jedi Killer.
Yep.
Fun fact.
Yep.
We originally saw his character in the first 88-second trailer.
Yep.
We see the back of him with his iconic lightsaber with the crossguard things.
Yeah, and nobody knew what was going on there, right?
Nobody knew what was going on. We just saw this weird cloaked guy with a cool ass lightsaber.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
bring in the language. We had never seen anything like that for a lightsaber, right? There's always just been a single blade, and all of a sudden here's this guy, and you want to talk about blowing up the internet. People are like, what is this? How is it going to work? How does that even happen? Is he going to burn his hand?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool when that came out.
So that is a little bit of tiny little backstory of how we first saw Kylo Ren.
Yep.
First, we're going to stats. So they made 1,001. They made 1,187. 40 have ungraded, 17 10s, and 23 9s.
Yep.
The actor is, of course, Adam Driver. And this is actually interesting. Before he was actually a Marine.
He was in the United States Marine, so of course we thank him for his service and doing a great job. Yep.
He also actually founded the artists in the armed forces.
Yep. It's actually a non-profit group that he founded for free artist work, like whether it's acting or different things that he does, or that he provides for people that are either in the service or for their families. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool deal. Yep.
And then, so after high school, he then actually sold Kirby vacuums.
Yeah, so can you imagine, Kirby vacuums is where a person comes door to door and is like, I'm here to sell you a vacuum. How would you feel if Kylo Ren showed up at your house to sell you a vacuum?
That would be too funny.
Yeah.
Or if that happened, and then a few years later, you see, oh hey, it's that guy who sold me the vacuum.
Must be a good vacuum.
In Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
But then after that, he then actually founded a fight club.
Yep. Apparently that was with his friends in high school. Not a good choice.
I thought was funny.
Yep. Not a good idea.
He then also actually worked at a Target warehouse.
And apparently he was working at the Target warehouse when his life significantly changed. Because what's the next thing that happened to him?
The next thing that happened is he actually went to Juilliard.
Yep, which is pretty cool. Obviously the best, obviously artist school in the entire world. So he's working at Target, and all of a sudden he gets a call that says, hey, you're going to Juilliard.
So that was pretty life-changing.
Yep.
He went to Juilliard, and then he started going into Broadway, getting into movies, all things like that.
Yep.
And now we're going to go, and actually it's interesting, he doesn't like to watch his own work.
Yep.
Which I thought is interesting, because then he can basically not watch a lot of Star Wars, which is kind of sad. But
that's okay.
He still might, because it's good movies, but yeah. Anyway, then this is actually interesting. The original character for him, oh no, I already said that.
So what you're talking about there is, when they were casting it, they didn't have a name for him, and so he was just called Jedi Killer.
Yeah.
That was the name of the character they were casting for. They hadn't really given him a name yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, this makes sense, because J.J. Abrams actually said he wanted the character to be full of emotion and not fully formed.
Yep.
Which basically describes Kylo Ren in 2 sentences.
Exactly, Kylo Ren, exactly right. Yep, all right. Good, what else?
As I said, he was first seen in the 88-second trailer.
Yep.
We talked about all that. And then, one of my personal favorite videos
I agree.
is the SNL Undercover Boss, where Adam Driver is Matt, the radar technician.
And we'll put a link onto this one. So the thing that I loved about it was, here's Kylo Ren, this super serious guy. He's playing this dark character, kills his dad, spoiler alert, all these other things. And then all of a sudden he does Saturday Night Live, and he completely makes fun of himself and his character as Matt, the radar tech.
And also a fun little Easter egg. in one of my personal favorite games, Star Wars Battlefront 2, in one of the maps, they actually have his little orange vest that he's wearing.
Oh, that's
being
awesome.
Cleaned by droids.
That's
in
pretty
the actual
fun.
game. And whenever I play the map, everybody's just always swarming around it. So
very cool.
One of my personal favorite Easter eggs. Kylo Ren, super cool.
Yeah.
Very angry all the time.
Yeah, and so really when you think about movies 7, 8, and 9, he's kind of the main character, right, against the good folks there. Obviously at the end turns out to help out, but really an interesting character. And I thought Adam Driver did a really great job with this character.
He did.
But I thought again, Matt the Radar Tech might be one of my favorite things of all time. So, all right, anything else on Kylo Ren for us?
I don't think so.
All right, we're going to stick with you this week. We're going to go to card number 76, Kit Fisto from the Clone Wars. So tell us about Kit.
So Kit Fisto, most people don't really know who it is if they just watch the movies. He's basically like the green-skinned guy with like all the like cool like tentacle hair thingies.
Yep.
We see him at the very end of Revenge of the Sith, where he tragically loses his life
to
Emperor Palpatine.
He was also in Attack of the Clones on the Battle of Geonosis.
He did also survive the Battle of Geonosis.
One of the few that survived that.
One of the few Jedi that did.
Yep.
He jumped on one of the ships and went along with the clones.
Yep.
But anyways, first we're going to stats. So they made 960. 33 have been graded, 15 PSA 10s, and 18 PSA 9s.
Okay.
The voice is Phil Lamar.
Yep.
And Kit Fisto's species is actually Nutolan.
I think so. We're going to go with that.
Okay.
Yep.
We're thinking Nutolan.
Okay.
We already talked about that. He worked with Ahsoka at some points and Anakin during the Clone Wars show.
Yep.
We don't really see him much in the movies, but he does have some pretty cool parts in the Clone Wars show, which is why I love it so much.
Yeah, he's got a lot in the Clone Wars. Like, again, I had not watched the Clone Wars until I'd seen all the movies, so he's just a random guy who's on Geonosis. He's a random Jedi who gets killed by Palpatine. And if you remember that scene, it's kind of pretty easy. Palpatine's like, just waves the wand, and all of a sudden he's dead.
Yeah, like he stabs one.
Yeah.
He stabs one Jedi, and then he just like slashes him, and then I'm just like,
that's it.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, pretty quick death there. So, but a lot of stuff in Clone Wars. If you want to learn more about Kit Fisto, Clone Wars is the way to go.
He's a super cool character, one of my favorites, has a really good sense of humor, always has. In the Clone Wars show, we see him do like his smile, which is like very dazzling or whatever, but great character, love him, was very sad when he died. Yeah.
All right, anything else in Kit Fisto?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm going to take over card number 77, and this card, again, this person we could spend days talking about, Princess Leia from A New Hope. But of course, Carrie Fisher is the actress here. Before we get into anything about her, we're going to talk about some stats. They made 2,093. 93 have been graded so far, 66 PSA 10s and 25 PSA 9s. So we all know a ton about Princess Leia. We obviously know a lot about Carrie Fisher. But I tried to find some things that maybe weren't exactly as well known. So some of these people are going to know, but maybe not. So her mother, of course, was Debbie Reynolds. She kind of grew up a Hollywood life. She was a kid in Hollywood. She hung out with Hollywood. She interacted with Hollywood. She also dated Harrison Ford during Star Wars. I don't know how long. She was married to Paul Simon for a long time, which is, of course, very interesting. She's also in one of my favorite movies of all time, The Blues Brothers. She plays a very funny character in that one. She also had a really tough life. Carrie Fisher dealt with drug addiction. She also had dealt with bipolar. And she unfortunately passed away. She had a medical emergency on a flight while going back, I think, to Los Angeles. And then she died about 4 days later. And then, interesting, her mother, Debbie Reynolds, died the next day of a stroke. And apparently she said that she wanted to be with Carrie, which is obviously very, very sad. But a very interesting and tough life for Carrie Fisher. So some other things about her as Princess Leia. She was going to school in London in 1975 when she tried out and got this role, which is pretty amazing.
Nice.
Right? She, of course, was from Alderaan. And we all know that from some other later things, we kind of see some backstory of her. We actually have we don't have little Princess Leia, we took that one down, but we have young Princess Leia, of course, raised on Alderaan, which of course is very interesting. And then so many things about her character, right? So from the cinnamon bun hairdo to the bikini from Return of the Jedi, just became iconic parts of Hollywood.
Absolutely.
And the Star Wars universe. A couple interesting things. So in Rise of Skywalker, they actually, some of the footage that you see was actually filmed for Phantom Menace, not Phantom Menace, but Force Awakens. And they actually didn't use it there, but then they used it again later. That's kind of how you see her alive there. And then, of course, if you want to read more about outside of the movies, the Thrawn books are amazing. So those are actually just incredible stories about her. Of course, also, there's an entire series called the Jedi Academy books by Kevin Anderson, where it talks about her and Han Solo's kids, Jason and Jaina. Not Kylo Ren, but other ones. So again, there's so much stuff you can learn about with her. But again, when you think about the legacy of Star Wars, you think about the iconic characters and the movies and everything.
Yeah.
Princess Leia is definitely one of them.
I was very sad when I heard she had passed away, but I also thought it was very smart, but also very good that they added it in, where they then like had like her slowly passing away.
Yeah.
And like Rey and Ben or Kylo both sensing the Force.
Yep.
It was such a great moment, but also so sad.
Yeah.
Like I was literally crying in the movie theater, which almost never happens with me.
Yeah.
So I was very sad when I heard, but I still am glad that she got to go through basically all the movies.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was great also how J.J. Abrams and how they brought back the relationship between her and Han. I thought that was really great. And even kind of the funny comments about, your hair's the same or whatever it was. You got a new jacket.
Yeah.
Definitely fun. So again, great character on that one. All right, last card for this week, card number 78, Lieutenant Connix from The Last Jedi. And of course, this is going to tie right into the last card because the actress is Billie Lourd, who happens to be Carrie Fisher's daughter. Pretty interesting. So stats real quick. They made 1,351, 23 PSA graded, 17 10s, and 5 9s so far. So of course, the daughter of Carrie Fisher, she plays her mom in some of the flashback in Rise of the Skywalker. At least that's kind of like the body double for it. And then they end up kind of doing some, of course, CGI for it.
Yeah.
The character's full name is Kadel Connix. And her homeworld is apparently Dulathea.
No idea where that is.
Sounds kind of like Duloc from Shrek. That was a great movie. She was apparently promoted to lieutenant after the Battle of Starkiller Base. She actually, this is interesting, she actually supported the mutiny of Poe Dameron. Remember when he did that?
She did,
Yeah, she was one of the supporters there. And then finally, an interesting factoid about Billie Lourd. She actually auditioned for Rey to be in the movies, but she did not get that. And then JJ liked her so much that he actually created the character Lieutenant Connix just for her.
Nice.
Which I thought was cool. So, all right. That's our 4 cards for this week. So, Will, again, like always, what is your favorite artwork of the week?
Easily Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto. All right. I'm going to have to go Princess Leia just because she's such an icon for that one. So you're going Kit Fisto. I'm going Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Anything else for our cards this week?
I don't think so.
All right. Thanks again for joining, guys. Appreciate it. Hopefully you like our show. If you do, leave us a comment. Otherwise, again, if you're interested in getting these cards, 2 new cards every single week on Topps.com. They come out on Tuesday. And then otherwise, thanks again to Chris Penix for doing a great job on the artwork. Talk to you guys soon.